Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over the top 5 modifications that you can do to your E36 BMW. So starting out the list, none of these things are going to be in particular order to being my favorite or my least favorite, but these are just going to be some of the 5 modifications that I think every E36 should have.
Go.
So one of the best things that you can do to your E36 is getting a set of suspension. Getting a nice coilover suspension system is going to help lower the center of gravity of the car, and it's going to make the car handle a lot better. Not only is this going to make the car handle better, but it's going to give you a way better driving experience. Now, the coilovers that are on my E36 M3 are the AST 5100s. These are a nice mid-level coilover, but anything around the $1,000 range, such as BC Racing coilovers, are going to be a great option. Next on this list is going to be getting a nice set of wheels and tires. A lot of the times OEM wheels carry a lot of weight to them, and reducing that rotational weight is going to be extremely helpful in regaining some horsepower. Also, fitting a nice set of sticky tires is going to be great for that driving experience, and it's going to help you transition in your corners a lot better. It's also going to make you feel way more planted to the roadway and going to make you feel a lot more confident in your car. So once you upgrade your suspension and now you've got some nice wheels and tires, you're going to want some better brakes. The next thing you're going to want to do on this list is going to be upgrading your brake system. With better suspension and better wheels and tires, your car is going to be able to have a lot farther capability when driving. Whether you're tracking the car or this is just sort of a weekend driver, it's always a good idea to upgrade your brakes. The factory pads and rotors don't hold up to heat for very long, and they tend to produce a lot of brake dust. There's many ways going about upgrading your brake system, but we're going to talk about some of those options right now. So on my M3 at the moment, we have upgraded rotors, we have upgraded lines, and we have upgraded racing pads. The race pads do produce a lot more brake dust than the factory pads, and the brake pads, once you upgrade those, they produce a lot more bite right at the beginning, and they tend to last a lot longer as things start to heat up a bit. Another part of those upgrades is the stainless steel brake lines. The rubber brake lines that a lot of auto manufacturers use, with the increase in heat and the expanding fluid, those rubber lines tend to expand as well. And that's going to produce more brake fade, and they're not going to hold up longer whether you're tracking the car or not. Upgrading to those stainless steel lines is fairly cheap. It runs to be about $60 to $70 per axle. So with that cheap of an upgrade, it's a great idea to switch those out. And lastly, upgrading your rotors is going to give you a much higher quality metal, which is going to be able to not only withstand the heat, but it's also potentially going to last a little bit longer. Now, you could throw all these things out the window if you wanted to just go full send and get the whole kit right off the bat by upgrading to a full big brake kit. There's many options out there, and I kind of plan to do one of those in the future. Some of the great ones out there are going to be the Willwood kit, and if you like to stay OEM, you can upgrade to the BMW 1 Series brakes, which are a 6-piston in the front and a single piston in the rear. So now your car is driving way better. You have better brakes, you have better tires, and you have some cool looking wheels, and you're on better suspension. So the next thing to do is to upgrade your cooling system. This is one of the major faults on the E36 chassis, is that the cooling system is fairly weak and tends to fail on these cars. Particularly on my M3, the radiator has been upgraded, and the water pump, and some of the lines. I recommend you do all of those things to your E36 BMW. Not super particular on which radiator you do, but just make sure you get a nice high quality aluminum one. Upgrading the lines is only necessary if your rubber is getting old and starting to crack. Sometimes those also come in a kit with that radiator, but another great thing to do is to change out that water pump to an upgraded metal impeller, and also considering getting a new thermostat while you're at it when you're switching out your whole coolant system.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing on this upgrade is my personal favorite, and that is going to be upgrading your exhaust system. Not only is this going to make the car give it a little bit more power and a little bit more flow out of the exhaust, but it's also going to make it sound so much better that you're going to want to drive this thing forever. Having an upgraded exhaust system is one of those things that almost every car needs in order to continue that driving experience and to make you really enjoy going out there. A solid catback exhaust system is all a car really needs, and just having that modification is something you're going to enjoy for the long run. These exhausts can range from many prices, from just getting a simple muffler, or you can go all the way and get a full system. Basically, whatever dollar amount you spend, I recommend you do the research yourself and finding that right exhaust note for your car. For the E36 chassis, there are plenty of options out there. This particular option is the Stromang Exhaust, which is a catback exhaust system. Once I plan to take this thing to the track and to turn it into a full track car, I do plan on taking out the catalytic converter because it'll be a race vehicle only. Doing that, it's going to make the car a lot louder, but it's going to give me a little bit more performance once paired with a proper tune. So let me give you guys some flybys of this exhaust so you can hear what it sounds like. So with those 5 modifications, your E36 should be pretty well sorted and it should be a great little driving machine. I will link all of my modifications down in the description below for you guys to check out so you can get an idea of what you're going to be looking for. Among those 5 things that we talked about in today's video, let me know some of the other modifications that you think are the top 5 for your E36 BMW down in the comment section below. As always, thank you all for watching and I will see you all on the next one.